Welcome to the Techlahoma Foundation 2021 Town Hall. I am Kendall Wirtz, the Techlahoma Foundation president, and with me, who just turned her camera off, is Emily Harden, our community manager. Emily, if you don't know Emily is awesome. She is working for us part-time as our first staff member. Yay, Emily. So yay. So excuse me. Our agenda tonight is just a few things. We wanted to update you on the state of Techlahoma. So we're gonna talk about our mission for a couple of minutes. We'll go over some of the programs we had this year. We'll go over the finances, including, we'll look at the last 3 years. We'll talk about volunteers, and we will discuss the future of Techlahoma as we see it right now. So if you would like to ask questions, you can join us in the Town Hall Slack channel on Techlahoma Slack. So our mission is to enrich Oklahoma's technologists of all backgrounds through education, connection, and opportunity. And those three pillars, education, connection, and opportunity, are really important to the board. And we try and focus our programming to enact those three things as we work for essentially everyone in Oklahoma, but and everyone in technology in Oklahoma, at least. But we do want everyone to be in technology eventually, right? So anyway, so some of the programs we had last year, it was a little bit of a light year. There was still a lot of COVID uncertainty happening, but we still did a lot of things, and we're very excited about the stuff that we did last year. So last year, Techlahoma had 26 user groups all across the state. We had introductory groups like Free Code Camp. We had project management groups. We have G Codes Tulsa, which went well last year, I think. And we had language groups and even game development groups and things like that. So there was lots of stuff still going on in Techlahoma. There were 255 events in 2021. And for 2022, we have 24 groups signed up right now. Not everyone met virtually all year last year. I think a lot of people started meeting in person again, and sort of getting back to the normal swing of things. So we also normally have 3 tech conferences. This year we did have UXOK. It was originally scheduled for I believe August of 2020, delayed till February. In February, of course, we were not ready to be having a big conference with lots of people in contact. So they just did it online in February, and it was great. And they will be doing it again in 2022. 200 OK was in May. It was mostly virtual. There was a small group of people who met together, including the organizers, who got together at Holberton in Tulsa, and just had a little watch party. Basically, it was fun. Then when it came around time to do Thunder Plains, Thunder Plains actually did not happen this year. Instead, we did a Thunder Plains throwback website. You can go to thunderplainsconf.com if you want to check that out. Basically, we went through all the old videos of talks from Thunder Plains and picked out our favorites and put them all together to try and replace Thunder Plains. But over the summer, the Delta variant spiked, and we all just got very nervous about meeting in person again. And we delayed the decision long enough that we just couldn't find a venue, and we weren't ready to commit to anything. In addition, there weren't as many volunteers from the Oklahoma City area. So we actually didn't know what venues there were and what would make a good venue. But I think we've corrected all of those issues. There's now quite a few volunteers from the Oklahoma City area. We've booked the place for next year. And I think we're ready to have a great Thunder Plains next year, as well as a great 200 OK and UX OK in 2022.
Okay, like Kendall mentioned, if you don't know me, I'm Emily Harden. I'm the community manager for Techlahoma. Something we started this year was the job board. So if you go to connections.techlahoma.org, you can actually see job listings of people that are connected to Techlahoma. If there are currently no job listings, it's going to show you suggested jobs. That is not as curated by us. But if you are looking for an employee, this is a great place to go. If you go to connections.techlahoma.org, you head there and you can put everything about your job listing, all the information, and it will automatically send a message in Slack. When it sends that message through Slack, it shows as a Techlahoma Connections bot. So it's not just a random person sending a message. It's actually like a Techlahoma connected person. So we hope to use this more in the future. If you are looking for employees, definitely connect with me or just head straight to connections.techlahoma.org.
Great, thank you. So the next section we wanted to discuss tonight was finances. So we have, I don't normally show 3 years of finances at the town hall. Sometimes I just show 1 year of finances, but it's been a really weird couple of years. So these are the 2019 finances, just to give you an idea of what things were like before there was a global pandemic. We spent about $100,000. Well, we earned about $100,000 in a year. So that was about what our budget was like. And then and there was a lot of conference income, a lot of income from conferences. There was a lot of individual donation income and some corporate and nonprofit income as well. And then, of course, there were user group expenses, a lot of conference expenses also, general foundation expenses for upkeep, taxes, things, or not taxes, but like filing the taxes rather, accountant, and general program expenses. So that was what 2019 looked like. I've been comparing most things to 2019 as the last normal year, just to plan for the future. The 2020 finances are here. As you can see, very little, well, not very much conference income. We also had a big dip in individual donations, as well as corporate giving. But of course, we didn't have that many expenses either. We had very little conference expenses, very little user group expenses because no one was meeting in person. So, and then this year, we are doing much better. We had a lot more conference income. We had our individual donations bounce back somewhat. And this was due to a fundraiser over the summer. Hopefully you saw it. We had a matching donation from Luke Crouch for $10,000. And that, because of that, I think that was a really successful campaign. In addition, we had some extra foundation expenses. Emily is part-time now, as I mentioned before. We also have a bookkeeper who does the bookkeeping, yes. Yeah, and then we got about $1,000 in affiliate payouts, which is Amazon Smile, Twitch subscriptions, things like that. It's not a huge amount of our income, so don't buy things on Amazon just because some of the money will go to Techlahoma, but we do appreciate the little that does come our way. All right. I don't think there was anything else I wanted to say about income for 2021. Um, yeah. The volunteer section. Emily.
All right, I'm back. I just disappeared for a second. If you can go ahead and go to the next slide. Our volunteers did some amazing things this year. We love to see people get involved. In fact, Kendall and I's backgrounds were created by volunteers. Of course, Kendall and the entire board is all volunteers. All of these social media posts were created by a volunteer, or the quote is a volunteer. Um, Volunteers raised tons of money. We truly appreciated everything everyone did. If you're looking to get more involved, definitely connect with me. I can kind of guide you to the exact type of thing you're wanting. So if you want to do something 20 minutes a week, happy to help. If you're wanting to do something 20 hours a week and you want to do it as a volunteer, I am thrilled. I would love to chat with you more. So please definitely reach out to me about that. The next thing is the Get Recognized notification. So last year I mentioned this as well. If you are listing us on your LinkedIn profile when you are volunteering, I highly suggest listing it like this. Definitely breaking it out into what you're doing. If you need any guidance on that, check out techlahoma.org/getrecognized, and that will help you uh, select that and make sure everything looks perfect. And back to Kendall.
So this was the 2021 board. When we were all feeling vaccinated and comfortable, we met, I think it was in June, in at a Hampton Inn in Stroud. And we all got together and we talked about all kinds of things. That's what this picture is from. We talked about the future of user groups, the financial future of Techlahoma, and the future of Techlahoma as it in the context of working with other organizations outside of Techlahoma, as well as many other things. But those were the highlights and the things that the board found really most important. So this was a great crew. I'm really happy that all of you volunteered this year. Yes, thank you, Emily, Diana, Cecily, and Luke left the board this year, so we're sad to see them go. But we get 3 great people in their place. This is the 2022 board. They were elected last month, and the new folks are Tyrance Billingsley, Becca Mercer, and Jasmine Kendricks. So we're thrilled to have all of you on the new board, and we're excited to do great things in 2022. So the next section is the future of Techlahoma, mostly focusing on 2022, but also a little bit about the beyond. Emily, do you want to talk about this beautiful website?
Thank you for calling it beautiful. This is just a little teaser. We are working on a new website. We understand our website isn't quite the 2022 feel it needs to be, so we're getting there. If you are interested in helping make this site amazing, reach out to me. Right now, it's a very small group, so I'd love to connect with you and hear input and ideas to make this like a 2022 site as it should be for Techlahoma.
All right, so the most exciting thing that's upcoming for Techlahoma is we're using a group called Right On Fundraising. So we've begun a grant writing campaign, and the goal of that campaign is to have more paid people on staff to to better support our volunteers. So we'd like Emily to become a full-time community manager or a different job title as needed. We might one of the things we're looking at is maybe having someone in charge of workshops to help organize those. In addition, someone to organize conferences. We could have theoretically a staff member for each program, depending on how much we can come up with. So, but the whole goal of that is to be able to handle things for volunteers, and so that volunteers aren't having to do like what's the word? I can't think of words now. Basically, little tasks that volunteers could spend a lot of time doing. We want you to spend your time on exciting things and on getting people involved and on helping people and communicating, and not on things like how much do I have left in my budget and things like that. So in addition, I don't know what's going on with this slide. There we go. We are also working on our program for corporate memberships. We worked on that some last year. We had a couple of sort of corporations test the waters on the corporate memberships. We are still working on some of the perks. And when we finalize that, we will be rolling that out. In addition, next year, so far what is planned for next year is user groups are back in full swing. They are, I believe the budget has not been approved yet, but I believe the user groups will be back up to fully funded. Last year, they were only about half funded because we didn't expect anyone to start meeting in person until about June or July. But I expect the user groups to be fully funded next year. So back into the swing of things and meeting in person and whatever you would like. However, you do not have to meet in person, and we are still encouraging user groups to have a virtual element to their meetup for the folks who may not feel comfortable meeting in person. And of course, user groups do not have to meet in person. If you really liked the virtual aspect, it's really up to your user group leader. If they like the virtual aspect, they may continue to hold virtual meetups. So that'll be great next year. We also, as I said before, we have 200 OK planned for May. The venue is booked. There is a call for papers open, which I'm hoping we can find the link for and share with you in the Slack channel. UXOK is summer sometime. I don't know when it is. I should have asked Max before I came on. It's scheduled for the summer. The call for papers is also open. I don't think we have secured a venue yet, but we are working on it. And then Thunder Plains is, I believe, scheduled for early November. We have booked a venue. We have the call for papers open. So we can start working on that in the next few months. And in addition, we've been discussing multiple networking events. Definitely, we've been talking about one in Tulsa. There will probably also be one in Oklahoma City as well. We had one networking event at the very beginning of 2020 that went really, really well. I think everyone loved it. So we'd really, we'd be very excited to replicate that, and especially get people, connecting with the rest of the Techlahoma community. All right, Emily.
Okay. This has kind of been my theme of the night. Want to get involved? Volunteering is a great way to get involved. No, go back. Okay. Volunteering is a great way to get involved. Definitely reach out to me. We have groups that focus on all of our conferences, so that's a great way. Another way is, of course, donation. If you want something for your donation, you can also consider swag. So for instance, I got this t-shirt on our website. I also got this necklace that is very hard to see, but it says Techlahoma on it. So there's a lot of things on our store. There's also a holiday store that's temporarily open, so check that out. Please join Slack. That's going to be the best way to get involved with everything Techlahoma. Attend our events, and like Kendall was saying earlier, speak at our events. I sent the paper call link in Town Hall. They're also posted on our Twitters, so feel free to check those out. We're also looking for user group speakers too. Heartland and Bison were our org level sponsors this year, so they really helped put this entire shindig together, kind of made our organization thrive and function this year, so we really appreciate their help. We wanted to highlight that in addition to all the many sponsors for our conferences. So wanted to shout them out real quick. And next we have a sponsor giveaway. So Dobson Fiber reached out and told us they had these cute little holiday boxes. I would love to give them out to people. So the way we're going to do this is if you can drop an emoji in the YouTube chat or in the Slack, I will pick 3 people randomly. I've got a random number generator pulled up. I don't know how I'm going to do it with emojis, but I'll figure it out. And I will choose 3 people to win this beautiful gift and mail it to you. So definitely drop an emoji in one of the chats so I can make sure you're on the list. And last, I think Kendall might want to come back on too, but thank you to all of our donors, supporters, and volunteers. We could not have done this without you this year. Check us out on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn. I try and post on social media for us all the time, but if you share something that you love about Techlahoma, I would love to retweet it and repost it as well for you. I love to hear from you all what you're thinking. And on that note, I did mention in the Slack, if you would like to join the Zoom call afterwards, feel free to join that. We are going to stop the stream in just a few minutes unless anyone has any questions that they want to drop in the Slack groups. And I'm not seeing anything right now. Let's see. User group leaders will get notification about their budgets by the end of the year. So it should be by January 1. If you haven't gotten notification by then, reach out to me personally and I will make sure you get it. That's the only question I saw that can be quickly answered. Kendall, do you have anything else?
No, just to reiterate, thank you everyone for being a part of this community and sticking with us. And we are very excited about 2022.
Yay.